Welcome back, YouTube. So today I want to cover a topic that I've talked about for a while now, even as early as last year. And I wanted to cover it a little bit more in depth just because I believe that we are on the cusp of this happening pretty often. And I wanted to just have that conversation just to put things into perspective for the community overall. This isn't just limited to Dogecoin. I believe we're going to see this happen across the board, but it just helps to kind of have good practices and to just kind of understand what exactly is happening here. So we'll see, especially between now and certainly during the next bull run, we'll see people, programs, coins, and everything coming forth, promising to bring like utility and a safe place for like the coin and stuff like that, which is fine. Like you can it can be done, and there is several good ideas out there, but we have to make sure that it's being done in an ethical way and just really put things into perspective with what we're seeing. What we saw last year after the takeoff of Dogecoins, we saw the rise of a lot of dog tokens, and by a lot, I mean a multitude, and it's to the point where it was almost like unhealthy, and it just literally kind of gave the name, well, I'll say it gave the name merit of like meme tokens, because the lack of regulation in the crypto space is what allowed that kind of stuff to happen. You'll never see like a company like Walmart do really well on a stock exchange, and then you turn around and say, "Oh, I really like the success of Walmart. I'm going to further improve Walmart by creating my own little version of Walmart, which has nothing to do with Walmart, nor do I have the same plan, but I'm going to name it something similar to Walmart so I can have the brand association. So I'm going to create Little Walmart, or Walmart's wife, or Walmart and Walmart on the beach, whatever." And it just, this type of stuff that has been running rampant through the community, and it devalues the space, and it also gives it the illusion that, okay, based off of Gary Gensler's comment, that it is the Wild West, and it's just that, and people go out and they invest in these things, and they'll say, "Oh my God, this was a scam! I can't believe it was a scam." What about that made you not believe it was a scam? When you're leeching on to another asset for brand awareness and culture, you're basically trying to leapfrog the difficult part. The difficult part is building a brand, having that association, having your breakthrough, or if you get an endorsement by someone or utility or something like that, and people start to actually use the coin. That's the most difficult part. But when you create a coin or a system or stuff like that, and you say, "I'm going to leapfrog all of that and just say, hey, this is going to be my association here, but this is to the benefit of you guys. I'm really doing this for you." And there is no merit, there's no depth on the procedures here. It just seems to be, for money or a cash grab. Then it's not really for the benefit. It's really hurting more than anything. It's kind of similar. I'm sure this will be a great example here. Everybody's familiar with the brand Coca-Cola, like the soda. But if you go and you get a Coke or a cola, or just from like because there's a million brands out there that have something similar to Coke, it never tastes quite right. It's similar, but it's not the same. And that's kind of what we're having here in the crypto space. You can have something similar, you can put a similar design on it, you can say all the right things, but it's not the same. And you can find evidence of that in rug pulls, which happen usually immediately after the coin happens, or the developers have 80, 90% of the tokens and stuff like that, total control over the coin. And there's literally no plan for the coin. The coin, it'll say, "Oh, we're going to donate to charity," or "We believe in such and such." And there's no, in addition to having no community, you now have just created a coin on the whim and have no plans for the coin, and just says, "Hey, we're going to do, we're going to have utility and stuff like that in the future. Just buy the coin right now, and we'll get to all that good stuff later on." And to help things out, or to make sure that, so that that this is not a scam, we're going to name it something that you're already familiar with. And see, and this is kind of what gets people. And I don't want the community as a whole to kind of get sucked into this BS, because until we get regulation, this will continue happening. There are a lot of people out there who want to make a quick buck, and they'll do anything to make sure it happens. So, if this was allowed in the stock market, you probably would see a baby Amazon, or a little Walmart, little Apple and stuff like that. You would see things like that. But of course, if you did that, you would get sued into oblivion because there's protections there. These are brands. This is why we have such laws to protect and trademarks and stuff like that, saying that okay, this is to protect people from brand confusion, so that it's obvious that you're not associated with this, such and such as company, and that the consumers don't get taken for a ride. It's for consumer protection, brand confusion. There's a reason why we have such laws. And until we get those in the crypto space, we're going to see BS like this, and people are going to take every advantage that they can to try and get people in to make a quick buck. And yes, I know that it's possible to turn a gain on some of these coins. It's very possible, but it's highly unlikely. And I know that it's easy to get an extremely high percentage when the coin has 5 zeros in it and it's far less than a penny. Getting 1,000% return on a coin that is 7/100ths of a penny compared to Bitcoin doubling and going from 20,000 to 40,000 and that's only 100%. Yes, I understand. It takes a lot less money. It's to move that coin that's worth less than a penny. But you also have to say, okay, the coins that have the large market caps, the coins that are mainstream, they're there for a reason, and they have large communities of support. And it's extremely difficult to rug pull them. They've been trying to destroy some of the coins that's in the top 10, even Dogecoin, for example, with shorts and stuff like that. But because the community is so massive, they're struggling with that. They're able to get it down to like some of those lower support levels, and then they can't budget, even when they spike the shorts above the 200-day moving average. But when you have these coins out here where the developers own 80% of the coins and stuff like that, and they decide to dump or short or whatever the case may be, it's easy to manipulate the coin and have those rug pulls, and then they disappear. And then half the time, you don't even know who these developers are. They're hiding behind VPNs and on the internet, and so they just rug pull the coin and start another one. They could be behind 10 of them. And this is what I don't want to happen to the community. You guys work hard for your money. You guys are trying to learn the space and stuff like that. I know the gains are attractive, but when you see these coins pop up and stuff like that, you have to just kind of do some due diligence and think, okay, what's in it for me? Why are they trying to associate themselves with another coin if they plan on being here for a long time and building value? Those are things that you don't do. When you're building something, you'll take pride in it. If I was building a tech company or my own soda, I would be ashamed to call my tech company Apple or Little Apple or Baby Coca-Cola or something like that. That would be embarrassing for me to come out and say, yeah, I'm leading this project. That's not something that you do when you plan on being around. That's something that you do when you're trying to take a shortcut and you're making a quick entry and a quick exit. So that doesn't stand out to me as something or a project or someone that I'm thinking that like I'm going to be here for a long term, or this is a long-term investment for me. This is, how do I build awareness of this as quickly as possible? How do I cut as many corners as possible to spike this coin up as absolutely as quick as possible? That's what that says to me. And I just want you guys to think about that, because I don't want the space to look the same as it did a year ago after Dogecoin blew up and we had all these knockoffs and meme tokens and stuff like that literally come in and flood the market and like devalue almost everything, and everybody got rug pulled and people lost a ton of money and stuff like that. And we've seen a lot over the last year, and I think that if we learn from that and improve, the crypto space will as well. That's all I have for this rant. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.